Question says, Salamu alaikum, or Salama alaikum, says here, Akhi, I have an important question. I hope you get me an answer. How strict does one have to be with regards to not aiding in sin and transgression? Generally, I understand the principle, but for instance, if one has some friends over whom not are all firm and fully practicing, and they ask me for the Wi-Fi pass, by giving the Wi-Fi pass to one who may use it for music and such, am I sinning? Please answer as soon as you can. Jazakallahu khairan. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you well. As you clearly mentioned in the question, it is obligatory to cooperate upon bir and taqwa, righteousness and piety. And it is impermissible, unlawful, for a person to help and to cooperate upon ithm and udwan, sin and transgression. Of course, or obviously, there are levels. There are levels. There is the direct cooperation with someone. You having your hand directly on and in the haram. You assisting someone directly in sin, directly in that which angers Allah. And obviously, there's the indirect ta'awun, in which you're not encouraging the person, you're not even allowing the person, but you are, whether close or far, a piece of the puzzle of his act. A piece of the puzzle of his act. You're doing something somehow, some way that is a part of the act being performed, the haram substance being consumed, etc. Okay? So, obviously, both of them, the Muslim has to be mindful and conscious of. The first level is not like the second is not like the first. So therefore, the first level you clearly avoid to the best of your ability. And the second level you should also avoid to the best of your ability. If somebody's going to use the Wi-Fi for haram, you know about it, you're sure of it. Or you're pretty bent, you're strong, you feel confident. I know pretty much, almost for sure, that this type of brother is going to watch this on my Wi-Fi. He's going to download this, he's going to listen to that on my Wi-Fi. So if you feel that way or know that way, then it takes, inshallah, the ruling of the first category. But if you're unsure, totally unsure, then it's not necessarily your responsibility to monitor and to police and to manage everyone's phone and everyone's tablet. That's not necessarily your responsibility. So if you're given a password or not, or any other example like this, you give them nasiha. Kill two birds with one stone. This is the password to the Wi-Fi, and there's a hadith that I read in Sahih Bukhari. This is a hadith I read in Sahih Muslim. This is, I learned this in a class. I heard this from one of the scholars. I heard this from one of the du'at. I heard this from one of the imams. I heard this from such and such and such and such regarding music, regarding pornography, regarding anything that's haram and displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the details of what is and what isn't haram with regards to watching and listening. We just mentioned examples. So therefore, that's an option, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, whereas you don't offend him, and you give him the nasiha. It could be a brother that doesn't listen to bad things, doesn't watch bad things, and you still give him nasiha. You still educate him and pass on the knowledge that you got, that you heard of. Bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. So cooperating upon righteousness and piety, cooperating upon sin and transgression, and also enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, they're intertwined. They're intertwined, they're interwoven. They're like sisters or twins. Sometime making ta'awun, helping each other upon piety and righteousness, is included in al-amr bil ma'ruf, enjoining the good, which is from the greatest acts of ibadah, and from those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about his believing slaves. Those who believe, those who establish the prayer, they give the zakah, they enjoin the good, they forbid the evil. And several surahs in the Quran al-Kareem. And that they are awliya, the believers are protectors of each other in Surah Tawbah. And also, cooperating upon sin and transgression, and not forbidding the evil, not telling someone to avoid the evil, these things are connected as well. Whereas you may not be doing it, you may not be assisting him, but you know that it's going and you don't give the nasiha. What's important is that there are levels to this. There are stages. The more knowledge you have of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and of his deen and of his sharia, the easier it is for you to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The easier it is for you to know what not to do, why not to do it, so on and so forth. As Ibn Qayyim explained in detail, the levels of enjoining the good and forbidding the evil. So therefore, you're going to have to seek help in Allah. You're going to have to follow your intuition, and you always protect yourself, and you can never ever go wrong by doing that which is safest. If you're in doubt, don't give them the password. If you're in doubt, tell them I can't give you the password for one reason or another. However, you don't want to offend the Muslim unnecessarily. If you can talk to him and explain to him and give him nasiha, that's even better. And perhaps he didn't know. Perhaps he's ignorant. Perhaps they don't know. They're weak. They need to be reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah surely knows best. This is a summarized answer. A topic like this needs an entire lecture. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.